If you want games at great prices while supporting the channel and charity, check out my Humble Bundle link down below. All right, so last week I dropped a video on Gray Zone Warfare talking about their upcoming Night Ops gameplay. A lot of you guys were commenting and leaving your thoughts on the current state of the game and what you need to see in the game to bring you back. Because as we know, Gray Zone Warfare has been struggling for a while with their player numbers. They peaked at like 72,000 on launch. They're currently struggling to get over 2,000, sometimes even over 1,000 at any given time. Well, we have a roadmap kind of detailing the Night Ops release as well as releases and updates for the next 2 years. We're gonna go through the roadmap here first, and then I'm gonna talk about my thoughts a little bit later on in the video. If you guys enjoy it, leave a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't done so already. My name is BigFry, and let's talk about Night Ops Update 0.2. I dropped a more in-depth video last week, so if you haven't seen it, you want to know what's in this update, go watch that video. I'll have it linked down below, but it's coming in fall of 2024, according to this roadmap. So we don't have a date on that, but fall, so Q4 2024. Following that, we have Dark Revelations, which is in the spring of 2025. Rain and storms unearth new depths to the story of Lemang. So the little description that we get here is immersion lies at the heart of Gray Zone Warfare. Surrounded by rain and the resonating whispers of the past, your connection to the island deepens, intensifying the atmosphere of this desolated Southeast Asian paradise. So they're kind of alluding that we're going to get new points of interest. They say with every new location, environment detail, and storyline element, Lemang Island becomes increasingly vivid and captivating. And they're also alluding that this is when we're going to see weather in the game. You know, different rainstorms, different storms in general. We're probably going to see lightning, thunder, all of that stuff. It's coming in spring of 2025, and this is update 0.3. Following that, in fall of 2025, we get Elite Operator is the update. Elite PMCs thrive on skill, precision, and the pursuit of mastery. Sharpen your abilities through tactical maneuvers, earn certifications that reflect your expertise, and prove your worth on the battlefield. Every decision you make, whether it's precision sniping from a distance or charging in with close quarters combat, hones your craft and strengthens your status. Additionally, camps will attract attention, leading to increased conflict between PMCs and heightening the stakes of every battle. So basically what it sounds like is we're going to be getting talent trees and skill trees for your character in fall of 2025. In the spring of 2026, we have Battle Forge. Crafting becomes the cornerstone of survival in this unforgiving landscape. Success hinges on your ability to gather resources, refine your crafting technique, and forge the tools essential for overcoming challenges. So it sounds like we're getting like crafting benches and being able to craft things out of items that we find in the world in the spring of 2026. Update 0.6, which is called Shadow Strike, is obviously, if you haven't seen the pattern, it's coming out in fall of 2026. In this update, stealth and precision becomes crucial as you navigate missions that demand a delicate touch or face high-stakes challenges. Victory often hinges on your ability to operate covertly and strike with deadly accuracy. So we're going to be getting stealth-only missions where if you get caught, the mission is over and you have to restart it. I'm guessing. I don't really know. We don't really have much information here, but it says enhance your skills in stealth tactics and tactical maneuvers to gain a decisive advantage and outmaneuver your enemies. So if you go back to the skill tree update, there's probably going to be like stealth skills and attributes that you can put towards your character to give yourself an advantage doing these kind of missions. In the spring of 2027, we have Rising Tensions Update 0.7. I know there's a lot of information here, and a lot of it is, honestly, we don't have a lot of information. We have a one paragraph write-up for each of these updates, and we kind of have to read between the fucking lines here. But engage in Rising Tensions in spring of 2027. In the face of rising tensions on the island, the balance of power is delicate and easily disrupted. Your faction's success hinges on mastering the art of influence and control. Strengthen your position, outmaneuver rivals, and disrupt their plans to gain the upper hand. These strategies will sharpen your tactical skills and help shift the balance of power in your favor, securing dominance in this high-stakes environment. Now, I'm wondering if this is going to be some sort of territory control gameplay where each faction is basically working towards, you know, controlling parts of the map. They talk about influence and control. I don't know if this is something to do with like vendor experience or influence, or like if your faction's doing better on the server, do you have access to different vendors? I'm not quite sure what this one actually is. But it does say your ability to navigate and impact the factional landscape will be crucial in achieving victory and shaping the ongoing struggle for supremacy. So it sounds like it's something to do with territory control. They mention a lot of landscape and outmaneuvering rivals, disrupting their plans. I don't know what to extract from that to actually give you guys an insight into what it's going to be. And then we have update 1.0, which actually doesn't have a date, but it is called Ground Zero. Your ultimate mission is to navigate the complexities of the island and uncover the perilous Ground Zero, which is in the middle of the map. If you guys haven't played, it is an area that is basically blocked off to players right now, but they say Ground Zero isn't just a destination, it's the climax of a journey, climax shaped by every faction's efforts and the mysteries you've uncovered along the way. So I'm not quite sure what's happening in Ground Zero, but it's gonna test all of your skills and strategies, offering a profound and rewarding conclusion to your adventures on Lemang. And then we have a little excerpt here, Beyond the Future. Gray Zone Warfare is just beginning to unfold, offering a tantalizing glimpse into its mysteries and dangerous world. With only 20% of the design complete, the journey ahead is filled with potential promise. Each new update brings us closer to refining the game with enhanced optimization, balance, and depth. As we continue to develop and expand, your feedback will be crucial in shaping the future of Gray Zone Warfare. Now here's where I'm at. This was all given to a bunch of content creators in their VIP program. We get a look at the update. We get a look at kind of where they're going. We get vague little descriptions about what each update is going to be. We get a random, window of release for all of these updates. And here's the thing I hate about roadmaps. The roadmaps are never accurate, because when it comes to game development, things change. Things happen. Like in the case of Gray Zone Warfare, we saw an update drop earlier this year that fucking broke the game and it had to be reverted to the old build until they figured it out. These things are going to happen. So I guess, to give them credit, we have, a fall 2025, a spring 2026. We don't have actual dates on these. We have release windows. But if I know anything about game development, there is no possible way the team knows that update 0.6 Shadow Strike is going to be dropping in fall of 2026. That's still 2 years away, and you don't even know what's going to happen before then. Rising Tensions, update 0.7 coming out in spring of 2027. How do you even know that? I do like that they're trying to give people a little bit of a glimpse as to what this vision is for this project, because I'll be honest, a lot of people who played the game, they don't understand what the game is actually going to be. Are we leaning more towards a DayZ style gameplay? Is it still an extraction shooter? Is there going to be skills and abilities? The vision is not clear. Reading through this, it becomes a little bit clearer, but also not really, because we don't actually know what these updates are going to actually feature. Again, everything I said in the first 6-7 minutes of this video is guessing based on a vaguely written paragraph that they provided to the content creators. And don't get me wrong, I like that they're involving the community and discussing this with content creators and keeping us in the loop. But this feels like they saw the feedback of we don't know what this game is actually going to be. We don't know what niche it fills. And they were like, well, let's try to put something together that can vaguely give people an idea. And the problem that I have with vaguely giving people ideas is it lets them run wild with theories, and people start to theory craft and design the game in their heads. And then when the game doesn't end up like that, people are disappointed, which is why I fucking hate when we get vague descriptions of what updates or what the game is going to be. So not only do we have a 3 to 4 year plan laid out in front of us, which I know is going to change, which means why does this even exist? But we also have a bunch of vague descriptions letting people run wild with imagination as to what these updates are going to entail. I was talking with my guys the other day, and like, you know, we talked last week about the fact that you guys have the day-night cycle coming. You guys have flashlights, you have the canted aim with the lasers, you have the night vision goggles. But the way the communications and the updates are rolling out, it makes it feel like this is a AAA studio. It feels like there's a lot of bloat and there's a lot of moving pieces that don't really need to be here. I was talking with my guys, and it was like, if you have the flashlights, just like make a public test environment and put the shit out there. You know, people understand that it's early access, and if you have a PTE on top of it where we can just start playing around with this stuff instead of waiting months on end for these updates, I don't get why we don't have flashlights or lasers in the game right now to test. You know, you talk about the time between update 0.2 and 0.3. So Night Ops is dropping sometime in fall of 2024. That probably means we're gonna be getting it, I'm gonna venture to say, sometime in November. And then we're not getting another major update for probably bare minimum 6 months into the spring of 2025. That's insane to me. This game's been in development for like what, 2-3 years, and from ground zero to the early access release, you guys fucking cooked, and we can see it. There's so many things in this game. The environment team is great. You guys have a full inventory system, vendors, a quest system. You guys have so much content that you developed in 2 years, and then now we're 6 months in between major updates for content. That's wild to me. The little stuff, like the lasers, the flashlights, that stuff should just be like in a patch. Hey, we patched in some items. Hey, we made some more loot items for you guys to grab around the map. That stuff is like little stuff. Now, granted, in the Night Ops update, you have the day-night cycle, which I think is a huge shift, right? But this feels like a AAA production being put on by a small, nimble team that can maneuver different than the AAA space. Not only do you guys have a nimble, smaller team, so there's not as many hoops to jump over. Like, I always think back to Battlefield 2042 when they were talking about their major season update and showing us, you know, oh, they're putting sandbags around the map. And it's like, you could have did that in an afternoon and pushed it to the live build and nobody would have said anything. But there's so many hoops and checks and balances and so many people to go through that, like, to get anything done is a fucking shit show. Gray Zone Warfare has the benefit of not only having a small, nimble team, but they also have a shit ton of money behind them right now too, because they sold over 1 million units. Now take the Steam cut out of it, but also take the supporter editions. Like, these guys are sitting on a nice chunk of change. They can afford to do these kind of things. I don't get why we're waiting 6 months plus potentially for major updates. Granted, I also understand development takes a long time. And on those major key points, like the crafting system, right? The skill system, the night, like day-night cycle, the storms, those big features, I think are take 6 months, get them done, crush it. But the smaller stuff, the loot, if you want to wipe, if you want to add more gear to, you know, more weapons, like I feel like holding an MP5 back in the Night Ops update, so we have to wait for the MP5 until fall of 2024, whenever that is. Are we going to get another weapon between update 0.2 and update 0.3? I hope so. And like, looking back at the last few months, we did see a couple of bigger patches come out where they fixed a lot of different bugs, but we didn't really see a lot of content pushes in those updates. So between launch and now, there hasn't been a lot of like over the table changes. We've seen a lot of back end stuff. Obviously, they're fixing stuff in the back end that maybe gamers don't notice, which is great, but they also have to focus on getting these things in gamers' hands and bringing them back into the fold instead of waiting for 6 months every time to get a major update. Now, and keep in mind, like I said, I am saying 6 months because that's what they're saying, but I can almost guarantee you at some point, one of these updates is going to be pushed. So let's say update 0.4 is slated for fall of 2025. Who says something in Dark Revelations breaks and they have to take an extra month to fix whatever, and everything just shifts? So like, seeing a roadmap with a 4-year plan makes zero sense to me. And keep in mind, I think this game is going to succeed in its vision. They are going to execute on whatever this roadmap is showing. I just don't think that it's going to be in the time that they say it is. And I also just wish that we didn't have to wait so long between updates to get anything in the game. Like if you jump in right now, dude, you're still killing AI, looting, you know, cans of soda and water off of them, and that's it. Then you're going back to base. I want to see quicker updates on the small stuff that I think could develop over time into, like, dude, they've made so much progress in the last 6 months. They brought this, and this, instead of, 6 months goes by, nothing changes, and then a big update comes, people come in, devour it, and then go away again. I just want to see them do it a little bit differently. My name is Big Fry. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like on the video and let me know what you guys think. Am I off the mark? Am I off base? Am I accurate? Let me know your thoughts. Thank you guys for watching. Shout out to the 342,000 subscribers. And I'll see you on the next one.